Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zoom Into Wine. It's time for the show and your host, Ian Blackburn.
All right, it's with my great pleasure I get to introduce you to Simon Faury, winemaker, Crown Point. Did I do okay on the pronunciation, Simon?
It was a C at best.
Yeah. Tell me, give me the correct French.
Simon Faury. People stumble on the Simon. It's really hard to pronounce. But I've been called many names, and I just roll with it.
Well, I appreciate the correct pronunciation. So tonight we're tasting the Crown Point. Just got 97 points, Jeb Dunnuck. That's a fantastic score. And tell us about yourself and Crown Point.
Yeah, I came to Crown Point a few years ago after spending 9 years in Napa. And before that, traveling the world to make wine. You may tell from the pronunciation and the name that I'm from France. I'm originally from Lyon in France. I worked in Bordeaux for a while. I got my master's in Bordeaux. I originally started in Italy because where I'm from is not too far from the Italian border, and I just love Italy and Italian wine. So I also got my winemaking and agronomy degree from Italy. I worked in Piemonte and Barolo for many years, and then I decided that for a French guy, it'd be important to kind of work in France at least a little bit. So I went to school in Bordeaux, and I worked at Domaine de Chevalier and Château Pichon-Longueville. I met Michel Roland at that time, who kind of guided me towards California. He said, if you're a young buck and you want to travel the world, go to California. So I worked at Robert Mondavi Winery, Harlan Estates, and Maryvale in Napa Valley. I worked for Michel in Argentina, and also a little bit in Australia while I was kind of touring the world. And so to go full circle, when I came to Crown Point, I was working in Napa Valley with Philippe Malka on a certain project, and Philippe mentioned Crown Point. He was working with Crown Point. He said, I think it'd be cool for you. So he put me in touch with the owner, and we hit it off well. We worked together, and to close the circle with Michel, I wanted to get Michel Roland's opinion on Crown Point, and so we brought him here. So the project is started in 2013. So that's why we want to have someone with a lot of experience to kind of give us his world, insights and things like that. Here we have a map of the vineyard. So it's started in 2013, like I mentioned. The owner, Roger, came from Texas. He was a cattle rancher and has horses in Texas. And in our area, there's a lot of horse breeding and thoroughbred. So that's kind of how he discovered the place. And he thought this would be a great area for Cabernet Sauvignon. So we have 45 acres. About 35 of them are planted to Cabernet Sauvignon, and 10 acres left split in between Merlot, Cab Franc for the most part, a touch of PV, about 1 acre of Petit Verdot, and 1.5 acres of Sauvignon Blanc now, and 1 acre of Malbec as well. It's not necessarily known for Cabernet yet, but it's a little bit like the Napa Valley, where you have different climates depending on where you are in the valley, as close, how far are you from the ocean? And you have the clay that kind of coats those tannins, that brings that mid palate. So it's super interesting to work with both. Another way to kind of really get the full spectrum on the property is that Cabernet Sauvignon has a very dark, very round texture, but the Cab Franc is much more floral, much more lively, and that is a really good fit for the Cabernet Sauvignon. So we kind of discovered, as the Cab Franc is maturing and aging, that the Cab Franc has a really interesting impact into the wines that we're making. So it's a new take on the Bordeaux blend, because it's not done there much, the Cab Franc Cabernet Sauvignon. And here in California, I think it works really well, hand in hand. So not only the vineyard is phenomenal, but Rogers spared no expense into building a state-of-the-art facility. We've got amazing tools to make, I think, great wines. Great wines don't reside in technology. It's not about technology. It's about getting a feel for the site, for the place. So nothing, crazy, but everything is done with great touch. We have oak fermenters, concrete fermenters. The focus is really onto the wines. We've got very classical, beautiful tools that enable us to make phenomenal wine. It's all gravity fed, so the wines, the grapes are go into the tanks by gravity. Then we drain the wines by gravity as well, and the wines will spend about 2 years in French oak. 50% new and 50% once used. We don't want to kind of put too much focus on the oak. Really, we want the site to express itself. The oak is just a way to, just a means to an end. Really, it's a way for the wines to be raised in the cellar. Really. And we've kind of fine-tuned the coopers. We work with about 5 different coopers hand in hand into getting the right toast levels, getting the right oak seasoning for the wines to really shine, and not the other way around. So you are working in a region where Cabernet is new, with great potential. Kind of the pages are blank. It's not like when you're in Bordeaux and there's 1,000 years or more almost of experience, but it's very rewarding for that matter.
That's beautiful. Well, obviously the results are coming, and your vision, your investment as a team is paying off. It's a beautiful wine. We're going to taste it now with your team, and we thank you for being on our Zoom. It's great to see you. If people want to come up to the winery, is it available for appointments?
Yeah, by appointment only. You can reach it on the website, crownpointvineyards.com. What's super excited for us is that we're about 2 hours. If you're a slow driver from LA, an hour 30 to 2 hours, depending on where you are. And it's really close. We have a lot of people visiting from LA, from LA area in general, and it's just beautiful. We think about Santa Barbara as LA's wine country, and we definitely see a lot of people coming from LA.
Question from last year, Simon. Are you single?
No.
I had some lovely ladies last year ask me to ask you that question, so I just thought I'd tackle that today.
Oh, thank you.
Simon, pleasure, man. Great job. Love the wine. I love the project, and congratulations.
Cheers.
Thank you.